Have you ever received news that completely shattered your world? Today, we're exploring a fascinating moment when Jesus drops what must have felt like an emotional bomb on his closest followers and how he masterfully guides them through that crisis.
That's such a powerful way to frame it. Psychologists say that how we handle delivering difficult news can have lasting impacts on relationships and mental health.
And what's remarkable here is how Jesus creates this perfect balance between honesty and comfort. He starts by addressing them as my children, using this term of deep intimacy that appears only here in John's gospel.
The timing really stands out too. He's just finished this profound act of service by washing their feet, and now he's about to tell them something that will rock their world.
You know what fascinates me? The way he weaves together three crucial elements: hard truth about what's coming, practical guidance for moving forward, and this incredible promise about their future.
That reminds me of modern crisis management principles. The best leaders combine candor with clear direction and hope.
Let's talk about Peter's moment in this passage. Here's this devoted follower making this bold declaration about laying down his life, and Jesus has to tell him about his upcoming denial. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion.
The psychological impact of that prediction must have been devastating. Imagine being told you're going to fail spectacularly at the very thing you're most confident about.
But here's what's fascinating: Jesus doesn't mock Peter or dismiss his loyalty. He simply tells him the truth, knowing this failure will actually become part of Peter's transformation story.
So, what do you make of this new commandment to love one another? It seems like such a pivotal moment.
Well, historically speaking, this was revolutionary. In a world where religious identity was all about rules and rituals, Jesus says their defining characteristic would be their love for each other. Studies show that early Christian communities were known precisely for this radical love and care for one another.
That really challenges our modern metrics for success in religious communities, doesn't it?
And then we get to this famous I am the way, the truth, and the life statement. It comes in response to Thomas essentially saying, we're lost here. The practicality of Thomas really shines through.
That reminds me of how cognitive behavioral therapy works, addressing both the practical concerns and the deeper existential questions.
Speaking of deeper questions, let's look at Philip's request to see the Father. Even after everything they've witnessed, he's still asking for one more sign, one more proof. It's so deeply human.
That really mirrors our own tendency to keep asking for just one more piece of evidence before we'll fully commit to something, doesn't it?
And Jesus's response is fascinating. He's clearly disappointed, but he still takes the time to explain again. Historical records show this patience had a profound impact. These same confused disciples eventually transformed the ancient world.
The ripple effects are still felt today. Their writings and testimonies continue to influence billions of people worldwide.
You know what's particularly relevant for today's world? The way Jesus handles their anxiety. He doesn't just say, don't worry, he gives them specific truths to hold on to: his relationship with the Father, his return, their future hope.
That's so different from our quick fix culture of anxiety management through distraction or temporary relief.
And perhaps that's the biggest takeaway for us today. When everything seems uncertain, Jesus offers not just comfort, but truth, not just promises, but his presence. Studies show that having a solid foundation of belief actually helps people navigate crisis more effectively.
Well, that brings us full circle to where we started: how to handle world shattering news with both truth and grace.
Exactly. And just as those disciples found their way through their crisis by holding on to Jesus's words, people today can find that same anchor in times of uncertainty. The principles haven't changed, even if our context has.